Okay, let's dive straight into this breakdown of Project Oracle and the seriously terrifying story of the last signal. I want you to picture a dark, rainy New York night because that is exactly where our story begins. Imagine you're just chilling on your couch, right? Mindlessly scrolling through your phone when suddenly an unknown number drops this text on you: "Don't go to work tomorrow." That's what 22-year-old Emma gets. She quickly shoots back, "Who are you?" but gets absolutely nothing, just eerie silence. And then a flash of lightning outside her window reveals a shadowy figure standing right across the street, just staring at her apartment. The creeping dread here is absolutely off the charts. But of course, the terror doesn't stop there. Her phone pings again, and this time it establishes a terrifying ticking clock. It just says 24 hours left. Put yourself right in Emma's panicked shoes for a second. You've got an anonymous threat, a literal countdown, and some stalker standing out in the freezing rain watching you. The tension is already through the roof, and we are literally just getting started. Let's just track how incredibly fast this escalates. We start at midnight with that first creepy text. Fast forward to the next morning, and Emma is desperately trying to explain all of this to her best friend Jason at a busy cafe. He totally brushes it off, says it's just a prank by some psycho hacker, but Emma sees that exact same hooded figure across the street again. And then, exactly 24 hours after that first text, boom, the ultimate escalation. A massive explosion completely levels a downtown office building. Now, Emma actually made the choice to skip work that morning because of that text. So she's sitting in a subway station, completely exhausted and terrified, when the breaking news flashes across the monitors. It's her office building. It's up in flames. And the horrific reality sets in. 11 people died in that blast. I mean, her coffee cup literally slips from her hands and shatters on the floor. Those mysterious texts, yeah, they definitely weren't prank. They were a deadly, real-world warning, and she had just barely escaped with her life.
Right at that moment of absolute shock, her phone rings. Unknown caller. She answers with shaking hands, and through this heavy, awful static, a broken, deep voice delivers a chilling command. Now you will listen. To me. The timing is just perfect. As the call drops, she looks up, and who is standing on the opposite subway platform? That exact same hooded man, staring right through her. A train suddenly rushes past, blocking her view, and when it clears, he's just gone.
This right here is a massive turning point. Emma gets a mysterious GPS location sent to her phone. Now, against literally all common sense, but driven by this desperate need for answers, she actually decides to follow it. The coordinates guide her to the very edge of the city, right up to the doors of this abandoned, dusty warehouse. It's pitch black, full of broken machinery, and the vibe is just incredibly tense. She steps inside, completely unaware of the massive secret she's about to stumble into. What she finds hidden inside the darkness is straight out of a nightmare. It's a massive stalker wall documenting her entire life. We're talking childhood photos, school pictures, recent snapshots, newspaper clippings meticulously pinned next to specific dates. But the real gut punch is right in the center. It's a photograph of David Carter. That's Emma's father, the father who supposedly died 10 years ago. As Emma is just standing there staring at the photo, whispering her dad's name, a voice echoes from the darkness behind her. The scarred, hooded man finally steps out of the shadows and drops a massive narrative twist. He says, "Your father never died." He tells her the truth didn't die either. Basically, everything Emma thought she knew about her family, her past, her entire life, it was all a carefully constructed lie. And just like that, the story shifts from a personal thriller to a massive global conspiracy. The hooded man reveals the existence of Project Oracle. What is that? Well, it's a highly classified, totally illegal government surveillance program. Its entire purpose was to secretly monitor millions of everyday citizens, just spying on everyone. And Emma's father, David, he actually worked on this very program. But when he discovered the illegal, dark experiments they were running, he tried to blow the whistle. So the government disappeared him. They faked his death to shut him up. But David Carter was way too smart for that. Before the government could erase him, he managed to secure all the explosive data proving these illegal experiments were actually happening. And he didn't stash this evidence in some fancy bank vault or buried in the woods. No, he had a microdrive inside the childhood necklace that Emma literally wears around her neck every single day. She'd been walking around with the key to dismantling a corrupt government surveillance state her entire life, and she had absolutely no idea. As Emma is trying to process this mind-blowing revelation, police sirens suddenly start wailing right outside the warehouse. Gunfire erupts. Windows are shattering everywhere. The hooded man tackles her to the ground as someone strides into the smoke-filled room holding a gun. And here is the craziest part. The person hunting her isn't some faceless, generic government agent. It's Jason, her absolute best friend, the guy from the cafe she trusted with her life. And his words to her are absolutely devastating. He just looks at her and says, "Sorry, Emma, they paid me." Think about that. Her true enemy was sitting right across the table from her during that first cafe scene, laughing off her very real fears while secretly being on the payroll to hunt her down. The betrayal just breaks her. All that gaslighting, all those dismissive comments from earlier that morning, it all makes terrifying, heartbreaking sense now. The hooded man screams at her to run. And what follows is just pure chaos, an action-packed shootout right in the middle of this dusty warehouse. Files are flying through the air, police lights are flashing through the thick smoke, the gunfire is deafening. Emma snaps straight into survival mode. She clutches that childhood necklace to her chest, literally dodging bullets, and somehow manages to slip away into the rainy New York night, leaving her entire old life behind forever. A few days pass. Emma is now hiding out in a lonely, dingy motel room. She finally manages to access the drive, and she doesn't hesitate. She uploads all those highly classified files straight to the internet, and the fallout is instant. Global panic and massive riots erupt in the streets as millions of people realize they've been watched their whole lives. Governments are frantically scrambling, trying to deny any involvement, but it's way too late. The fire of truth is already spreading way too fast to contain. Sitting alone in that quiet motel room, watching all this chaotic news coverage on a tiny TV, Emma finally lets out a breath. For the first time since this whole nightmare started, she feels a tiny ounce of genuine relief. I mean, she did it. She actually exposed them. But then, her phone pings. It's an unknown number, and the message simply reads, "This was only phase 1." Just like that, her brief moment of victory is completely shattered, replaced by a dread that's even deeper than before. So, this leaves us with one incredibly chilling question. If tearing down a massive illegal surveillance program and sparking global riots was only phase 1, who on earth is really pulling the strings in phase 2? The scale of this conspiracy goes so far beyond what Emma, or honestly any of us, could have ever imagined. Thanks for diving into this breakdown with me, and hey, keep your eyes open. You really never know who might be watching.